The series opener with the Royals got off to a rousing start with an excellent pitching performance, errorless defense, and clutch hitting fueled by power. Your Rangers won another tight one-run game. It's time for another starting pitcher to step up and keep the momentum going. Tonight, A.J. Griffin's in the spotlight, and the Rangers hope he puts together another solid start. Your Rangers and the Kansas City Royals meet next on Fox Sports Southwest. Texas Rangers baseball is presented by high-speed internet from AT&T. It is a gorgeous evening here in late July in North Texas. Rangers loved it last night. They'll like it even better tonight as they look to make it 2 in a row over these Kansas City Royals. And welcome in, everyone, along with Tom Greaves, Steve Busby. Glad you could join us for this evening of Ranger baseball, a Friday night out here at Globe Life Park. Rangers, after a night last night, very unusual, only 4 hits in the ball game. 3 of them left the ballpark. And Tom, I guess if you're only going to have 4 hits, you might as well have 3 home runs, which the Rangers did.
Yeah, they didn't even hit with a man in scoring position last night and won the ball game. Well, it's a great illustration of the kind of power that Mitch Moreland has to the opposite field. Last night was probably as well as Mitch has looked all season long in one particular game, mainly because he hit 2 home runs against Giordano Ventura, who had his very best stuff last night. He's throwing 98 miles an hour with a wipeout curveball, and Mitch was right on every pitch that he threw. He hit that hanger out to left field. He hit a fastball earlier. 2 solo shots last night. Rangers are 4th in the American League in home runs this year, and hopefully Mitch will be a big part of the home runs they hit in the next couple of months.
And the Rangers need Mitch Moreland to keep that bat going, because with Prince Fielder going under the knife today, the Rangers are going to count on Mitch to supply that left-handed power. Royals and Rangers, game 2 of this 4-game set coming up next from Globe Life Park in Arlington. Brought to you by your Texas Ford dealer. Visit your local Texas Ford dealer today during the Ford Freedom Sales Event and see why Ford is the best in Texas. By AT&T High-Speed Internet. Get a deal worth talking about. Get high-speed internet from AT&T. And by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. Well, a great evening here at Globe Life Park. Beautiful blue skies, a breeze out of the southwest, blowing out toward left field, and temperature at 93 degrees. A very comfortable evening. Before we get things underway, let's send it down and say hello for the first time tonight to Rick Renner.
Hey, Buzz, you'll notice that there are two first basemen in the lineup tonight, Mitch Moreland and Joey Gallo. Gallo, of course, DHing tonight. But Mitch Moreland has always been in a cloud of competition at first base. But he's taken it in stride. He's always produced, like last night with 2 home runs. He's a pro's pro.
It's a team atmosphere. We've got a great group of guys in here. They're, everybody's here for the right reason. And, there's a bigger goal that we all have in common, and I think that's what everybody kind of embraces in this clubhouse. So that's the only way to be when you're on a great team, and that's what we've got here.
With 2 opposite field home runs yesterday, maybe the Royals will loosen up on the shift, but then again, it's not like the shift's going to get the ball when it goes out of the ballpark. Let's go upstairs to Buzz and Tom.
All right, Rick, thank you. Getting underway a little bit early tonight as Alcides Escobar steps in, and the first pitch of the night is a 65-mile-an-hour curveball and a big swing for strike one.
In case you wanted to hit the first pitch fastball hard, I'm going to give you this.
No, A.J. Griffin setting the tone very quickly here tonight. 1 ball and 1 strike. Now Escobar leading things off, a .255 average. He has a home run and 25 driven in. 1-2. There you go from 65 to 87. 2 of the first 3 pitches, 22 miles an hour difference. Rangers, of course, winning last night 3-2. The strength of the Mitch Moreland home run barrage. That hung up there, and Escobar popped it into center field for a leadoff single. And Tom's going to show you the rest of the Royals lineup.
Oh, you just saw Alcides Escobar. Next will be Cheslor Cuthbert, the 3rd baseman. Lorenzo Cain, after a month on the disabled list, is back batting 3rd. Eric Hosmer's the cleanup hitter. Kendrys Morales bats 5th. The DH, Salvador Perez, was sick last night. He's playing tonight and catching. Alex Gordon is in left field. Raul Mondesi will play 2nd. And the center fielder batting ninth is Gerard Dyson.
And A.J. Griffin going to work against Cheslor Cuthbert. And A.J. making his 13th start of the year. He is 3-1, a .406. He's 3-1, but he has not had a win since coming back off the disabled list. He's gone 6 consecutive starts without ringing up a W. He hopes to change that here tonight. Line to right, but Mazzara there to make the catch as he dropped down to 1 knee. And Cuthbert a hard out number 1, and that'll bring up Lorenzo Cain. We'll take a look at the rest of the Rangers defense, delivered to you tonight by Chicken Express. Saw Mazzara in right. He is joined by Desmond in center, Profar getting the start in left field this evening. Moreland and Odor on the right side of the infield, and Elvis Andrus and Adrian Beltre on the left, with Robinson Chirinos again behind the plate. And the 28-year-old right-hander, A.J. Griffin. A.J. 1-0 in his career against the Kansas City Royals. His start last Sunday against them, the first one he'd had since he was a member of the Oakland A's back in 2013. He'd gone better than 3 years between starts against the Royals. Came away with a no decision. It was a rematch we have here tonight. A.J. Griffin and Edinson Volquez. Both starting pitchers acquitted themselves pretty well, and A.J. went 5 innings. Volquez out after 6. 1 ball and 1 strike to Lorenzo Cain. Tom told you about Cain being back in the lineup. He had been out for the better part of a month. He had a hamstring issue that kept him on the sidelines. He is back to 100% now, batting at .290.
It looked like Cain was able to wait on that ball. Took a big swing, but came up empty. Escobar got the bat on the ball first batter of the game didn't hit it that hard, but it hung a little bit. This one right there just breaks sharply down. And Kane was going for the downs on that one, but came up a little empty.
Now 1-2. That will even the count now. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
It's kind of the combination that AJ likes to use. A good curveball down and then a fastball a little bit high and out of the strike zone. Trying to get the hitter to chase it. That one was just a little too high for Kane to chase.
Yeah, you say, well, how can a guy that only throws 88 or 89 miles an hour throw the ball by somebody? That's how. You put those two back to back.
Yeah, right.
You get a hitter kind of saying, okay, I'm going to wait on that curveball, and all of a sudden he pops a fastball, and you can't catch up with it.
Yeah.
Big slow hook that stays inside. And the count has gone full. Well, with 1 out, we'll keep an eye on Escobar, see if he is on the move. Kane hitting third. He'll be followed by the first baseman, Eric Hosmer. Escobar pretty speedy, so I would imagine he will be off and moving. He's staying put. And the pitch is fouled away down the right side. AJ kind of quick pitched him that time and didn't spend much time in the set position. And another foul ball. This one lashed solidly, but well out of play down the right side.
Didn't see it, but we must have had a play down there. I don't think he expected to catch it based on the look on his face right now. But nice play.
Another 3-2, and he lost it. Well, Lorenzo Cain draws the 1-out walk. Royals have runners at first and second.
Wow, barehanded. Nice play.
Tom, I think you're right. I don't think he believed he was going to catch that one.
He put his hand up and caught it. Nice going.
So runners at first and second. Eric Hosmer dropping down a spot in the batting order, now batting cleanup tonight with Kane reinserted into the lineup. Hosmer, a .283 average with 13 home runs, 54 RBI. He's got Escobar at second, Kane at first, and AJ Griffin gets the upper part of the strike zone. It is 0-1. Hosmer 0 for his last 12 times to the plate. 3 strikeouts tell you that even for Royals that are going for an 0 for that they don't strike out all that much. That's what was amazing about the 12 strikeouts for Cole Hamels last night in 8 innings. And Yost team known for putting the ball in play, not walking much, but not striking out much. Double play ground ball, Odor. Andrews, Morgan, 4-6-3. Nobody does it better than your Texas Rangers. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 left after half inning. Royals 0, Rangers coming up. Royals don't score on the top of the first. Tom's going to tell you now about the Rangers Southwest Airlines batting order.
Well, Jurickson Profar is getting his first opportunity to play left field this season, and he's going to lead off as well. Nomar Mazara is batting second. Ian Desmond will bat third. Adrian Beltre, .435 average in his last 6 games, is the cleanup hitter. Rougned Odor has been hot. He'll bat fifth. Mitch Moreland, coming off a 2-home-run game last night, will bat sixth and play first. Elvis Andrus is the shortstop, a .313 hitter in July. Joey Gallo batting eighth is the DH, and catching, batting ninth, Robinson Chirinos.
And that lineup cobbled together by Jeff Bannister facing the 33-year-old right-hander, Edinson Volquez. Volquez, Ranger fans will remember, one of the most promising right-handers in the Ranger system when he first got into professional baseball. A live fastball still with good late movement, an outstanding changeup, and a good breaking ball. Last time, Rangers couldn't solve him for very much. They were able to get runners on base, but Volquez toughened up. And so they will try to be a little more aggressive early in the count. See if they can't get him out of the ball game early. Jurickson Profar starting things off against Volquez. Profar a .294 average. And he lashes that out of play. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Profar getting the start in left field, as Tom told you, his first experience out there this year. Jeff Bannister said he'd been working a lot in the outfield before ball games. And Jay Stingler and the rest of the coaching staff making sure he went through his paces. 2-2 the count. And last night, Cole Hamels. How about the job that he did? 12 strikeouts, a season high for Cole, and also a season high for the Rangers. For one pitcher, 8 innings, just 2 runs, 6 hits, 1 walk. That's another foul ball off the bat of Profar. 123 pitches last night for Cole Hamels. Jeff Bannister asked this afternoon, how much further would you have gone with Hamels? He said, well, we'll never know, will we? Cole had plenty in the tank, though. He came out and finished in good fashion. And that is just a little bit low. Well, the count goes full. Volk has a questioning look in at Ron Como, the home plate umpire. Profar trying to get aboard to start off the Ranger first. Nomar Mazara in that on-deck circle. Into the line goes Volquez, the payoff pitch. And that is low ball 4. Profar back in that leadoff spot. He does what a good leadoff man does. He's a lot of pitches and draws the walk. We'll take a look at the Royals defense tonight. Gordon, Dyson, and Kane. Dyson in center field, Kane back in the lineup in right. Hosmer and Mondesi on the right side, Escobar and Cuthbert on the left. Salvador Perez back in the lineup. He was out last night with flu-like symptoms. He is back behind the plate, catching for Edinson Volquez. Well, here's Nomar Mazara. Nomar at .279 with the average. Base hit right center field. Profar will motor on around to third, and the Rangers, with nobody out, have runners at the corners for Ian Desmond. Well, that's being aggressive early in the count.
Yeah, in yesterday's ball game, we didn't have a man in scoring position the whole game. And now 2 batters in. There's a man on third base. First pitch hit, he got a fastball up, out over the plate, and put the barrel of the bat on it and ripped it by Mondesi at second base.
And even with Profar making sure that ball got over Mondesi's head, he had to hold up for just a split second. Easily on over to third. Well, first and third, now here's Ian Desmond. Second on the Ranger Ball Club, 62 runs driven in, although Ian had a little trouble lately. Takes a strike on the inside corner. Ian in these situations of late has struggled just a bit. On just 1 for his last 11 times to the plate. That's tapped foul, and he's down on the count now, 0-2. Desmond at .307. Team leading 20 home runs to go along with the 62 RBI. He trails in the RBI race on the Ranger Ball Club to Adrian Beltre. Beltre was 64 of them. Volquez ready, checking the runners. High chopper up the middle. Second for one. The return not in time. Profar scores. Desmond beats out the back end of that double play possibility. Gets the RBI. The Rangers have a 1-0 lead.
Now the Royals were going to have to be perfect if they wanted to get Desmond on this high chopper. But Escobar charged it nicely, fed the ball to Mondesi quickly, but Mondesi bobbled the ball just slightly at second base, and that allowed Ian to pick up an RBI and end up safe at first base. Just enough to let Ian get in there.
No, Rangers out to an early 1-0 lead. First run they've scored in this series without the benefit of a home run. There goes Desmond. The pitch is inside. And Salvador Perez tosses it back to Edinson Volquez.
So I'm not going to waste a throw to second base. You know, I don't think there is a catcher in the American League who's more proficient throwing out runners than Perez.
Right.
He's, you know, up in the 45 to 50% range, but he saw the jump Desmond got, and he didn't even think about throwing it to second base. That's kind of a message to the pitcher, Buzz. I think when you do that, you're saying, come on, man, give me a chance.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Don't have to say a word. Just toss it back to him and accept the idea of Desmond being at second. As you saw, that's Ian Desmond's 17th stolen base of the year. Ian putting up some great offensive numbers all around. Adrian Beltre, we mentioned tops on the Ranger ball club. 64 runs driven in. Hitting at .280 with 16 home runs. And he chops that one foul outside third. The count moves to 1-2. Beltre had 0 for 3 last night, but he has been ferocious on this homestand. He has reached base safely in all but 20, I should say all but 10 of the 24 at bats that he's had. Got Desmond out there at second. Rangers on top, 1-0. That is just foul outside third. Chesler Cuthbert's going to play a little closer to the line now. Good look right down that third baseline. Third base umpire Jerry Meals in a pretty good position to call that. Last 6 ball games, Adrian hitting .435. The important numbers: 7 RBI for the Ranger cleanup man. There's a base hit to left field. Being waved around. Here comes Gordon's throw. He's got a good arm. It's wide of the mark. Throw to second. And out at second base is Adrian Beltre. But the run is home on Beltre's RBI single. And the Rangers lead it 2-0.
Yeah, it takes the kind of speed that Desmond has for the third base coach to try to score him on a line drive hit to Alex Gordon. Since 2011, no outfielder has thrown out more runners than Alex Gordon, and he makes a strong throw. Ball tails in. Pretty good movement by Volquez. Adrian muscles it over third base in the left field. Gordon makes a strong throw home, but no chance to get Desmond, but they did get Adrian.
Alodor lights one up to right field, way back the bar.
Well, I stopped talking just in time, Buzz.
You knew that was going to happen.
It didn't take long. Rougned yesterday, first pitch hitting, hit a high fastball from Yordano Ventura, even harder than that, more toward left center. That one was a little bit higher, more of a majestic fly ball. The Rangers coming up big here in the first inning. They've already matched last night's total with 5 hitters into the game.
Odor with his 20th home run of the year. He has caught Ian Desmond for the club leadership. I don't know how those guys remember all those things that they go through, but
I don't either.
I'm happy they do.
He jumped on the first pitch, and Volquez pretty much gave him a special delivery right there, right down the middle of the plate.
Here's last night's hero, Mitch Moreland. And he takes a strike to even the count.
No doubt about that.
Change up, pitch out in front of it. 1-2. And one more time for Rougned Odor. One of those majestic, towering shots to right field. Got him swinging. A pitch gone on strikes. Rangers threw in the first, but they scored 3 times on 3 hits, nobody left. After 1, Rangers 3, Royals nothing on Fox Sports Southwest. Now time for our Coors Light Cold Hard Fact. Rangers have hit 23 home runs since the All-Star break. Second most in the American League. They're the only team. As Kendrys Morales starts things off, they're the only team with 4 players with 4 or more home runs since the break. It's Moreland, Desmond, Odor, and Beltre. They have been prolific. The Rangers also have the most home runs in the major leagues, 71 of them now, going back to the 9th of June. Morales a check swing, and he rolls the foul. The Cold Hard Fact brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. Kendrys Morales a .246 average. He had a home run against A.J. Griffin in Kansas City this past Sunday. The only run that A.J. gave up in his 5 innings of work, but Morales took him into left center field out of the ballpark. A.J. working with a 3-0 lead here in the second. 2-2. One more note on the home runs. Rangers, since the All-Star break, have scored almost 64% of their runs via the home run. 63.8 to be exact. Granted, it's only 13 games, but that represents a rise almost double of what they did in the first half. They had only 37% of their runs in the first half of the season were scored by the home run. So they've got the power going. Now it's a matter of getting guys on when you have that power going. Timing is everything, as they say. Morales, a switch hitter. Rangers have an overshift against the powerful switch hitter. Let's see, Roudet out there in shallow right. Popped up. Beltre, only one over there. He's got a long way to go near the tarpaulin. Can't hang on. Well, Adrian going from basically the shortstop spot clear out there and couldn't quite hang on to it.
Yeah, that's an angle on a pop-up that he generally doesn't look at. He's generally going more straight back from third base. Tough to know exactly where the tarp is. Gets there, just can't quite make it go in the glove.
That ball's lashed foul down the right side. Well, Morales, 16 home runs this year, tops on the Kansas City club. Hits this one hard. Odor gets it. Turns, throws, and gets it.
Wow. I'd be willing to bet no one's been thrown out from that spot on the diamond this year.
I think that'd be a pretty safe bet.
He threw that ball from right field. He had the right guy that hit it and the right talent to catch it and throw it. He's way out in left field to begin with. Has to go way to his right. He's running towards center field and still got enough on the ball and threw it accurately to get Morales at first base. I'm glad we got a chance to see that.
Yeah. Well, in this day and age with all the shifts, I guess you have more opportunities like that, but that's amazing. That is just amazing.
Yeah, we constantly talk about the arm strength that it takes for an infielder to be able to do that, run in the opposite direction that you're throwing the ball. And Rugi has made similar kind of plays, going to his right past second base, getting something on the throw, but that took it to a little bit different level there. That was a longer throw.
Yeah, generally we're talking about guys on the dirt of the infield at some point.
Not out in right field.
Oh my. Oh, with one out, 2-1 the count on Salvador Perez. Now 3-1 as AJ Griffin misses high and tight. Perez a .271 average, 15 home runs, and 45 RBI. On base percentage, like most of his Kansas City teammates, not extremely high. Pops that one foul over the Royals dugout back into the seats. So the count fills. Perez batting 6th in the order, trying to get aboard in front of Alex Gordon, who is in that on-deck circle. Beltre, diving stop. A 360, and he throws him out.
Boy, if you're the Royals, you've got 2 men up, 2 men out, nobody on base after 2 balls that look like they were both going to be base hits.
Apparently the Rangers brought their leather out tonight.
Well, you know, the other day, Buzz, we were not you and I think Emily was interviewing Adrian, and he said, we've got to tighten things up on defense. We're better than this. We're not making the plays that we should make. Well, so far here in the second inning, they're tightening it up and making the plays.
Wow.
And AJ's the beneficiary of those 2 nice plays. Look at Adrian at 37 years old making that kind of a play, and looks like the same player that we've seen the last 4 or 5 years.
You know, people talk about third base. They say it's a first step position. The first step is critical for a third baseman to make all the plays, and Adrian probably has the quickest first step of anybody I've seen. Gordon flashing this to left field, and Jurickson Profar, his first opportunity, makes the catch on that semi-line drive. So 3 up, 3 down with the help of a little bit of great defense. On to the bottom of the second, 3-0 Rangers. Texas Rangers baseball on Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Visit your local Texas Ford dealer today during the Ford Freedom Sales event and see why Ford is the best in Texas. Now, the Rangers sent 6 men to the plate in the first inning, 3 of them scoring. Now the bottom third of the order to face Edinson Volquez here in the second, and Elvis Andrus backing away takes strike 1. Elvis 3 out of 8 in his career against Edinson. And he has painted both corners. 0-2.
2 tough strikes. Down 0-2. 2 borderline pitches. 1 up and in and 1 right on the outside corner.
Chopper foul. As we mentioned, Ron Culpa, the home plate umpire tonight, calling balls and strikes. He's joined by Chris Conroy at first, Pat Hoberg at second, and the crew chief, Jerry Meals, down at third. No balls, 2 strikes. Into the hole goes Escobar. Strong throw, and he gets Elvis by half a step. Oh, 1 out. Joey Gallo coming up, but we're going to say hello for the first time tonight to Jim Knox.
I appreciate it, Buzz. Great crowd out here to watch the Rangers, as well as the De La Rosa family. Boy, I think they got about 10 strong tonight because it's Sebastian's big 7-year-old birthday. Look at this, Tom. Has a message for Banny. It's my B-day. Put me in, Bannister. Very good. We'll put you in about the 4th inning. How about that? You got anything you want to say there, Sebastian? Anything?
Let's go, Rangers!
There we go. I like it. All right, guys. Already got the chips working here. All right.
That's a handsome looking family. Might be a future big leaguer in that group of kids.
I would venture to say there's probably a couple of them in there. I think they might have some backyard games going on.
It looks like it.
Joey Gallo handling the DH chores once again this evening. 0 for 3 in last night's game, and Joey just 1 for 9 this year. That one, he could have cut that up in 4 or 5 different pieces and had some base hits. Cleared the bullpen in left center field the other night against Oakland. 2 balls and a strike. Breaking ball hangs outside to Gallo, and it's 3-1. So Joey trying to get aboard here with 1 out in the second. The number 9 man, Robinson Chirinos, is getting set. Volquez to the wind. And misses outside, ball 4. No second walk he is issued tonight. Gallo aboard, Chirinos coming up.
Batting ninth, the catcher, number 61, Robinson Chirinos.
Chirinos stepping into the batter's box, batting .204 with 8 home runs and 17 driven in. Just 1 for 8 against Volquez in previous matchups. Nothing and 1. Volquez walked Profar to start the game tonight. He came around to score. He just walked Gallo with 1 out here in the second. We'll see if the Rangers can get a run out of that. Chirinos, 10 out of his last 16 hits have gone for extra bases. 1-1. We've told you that all 8 of Robinson's home runs have been on the road, so he's still looking for his first launch here at Globe Life Park. But in his last 18 ball games, he's had 4 home runs. Had one that hung inside to him, and after the foul ball, the count moves to 1-2. Chirinos with a hit in each of his last 2 games. Gallo, a small lead at first as Volquez checks it. Cuthbert to second, back to first in time for the double play, and that takes care of the Rangers in the second inning. No runs, no hits. The double play takes care of the walker. We'll go to the third here in Arlington. Rangers 3, Royals nothing. Out to the ballpark tomorrow night, watch the Rangers take on the Kansas City Royals and pick up this special collectible. First 15,000 fans 14 and older receive a franchise 4 quad bobblehead. That's courtesy of Medical Center Arlington. You can nod along with Beltre and Pudge and Nolan and Michael Young, the Texas Rangers franchise 4. Get your tickets for Saturday. Log on to TexasRangers.com. And we're going to remind you, as of this afternoon, there were only about 3,000 reserve seats left for tomorrow night's game. Of course, the game also, along with the bobblehead giveaway, featuring the induction of Michael Young into the Rangers Baseball Hall of Fame. That'll be before the game, and start time of the game has been pushed out back half an hour. It'll be 7:35. We'll have all of that ceremony before the ball game on Fox Sports Southwest for you. There's Mondesi. It's a soft line drive that's captured by Rougned Odor. One gone. A big day tomorrow. Michael Young, nice to see him out at the luncheon this afternoon. He was honored by many of his former teammates. He'll be inducted tomorrow night, 6:30. We'll start on Rangers Live and have the entire ceremony for you. Michael going into the Rangers Hall of Fame. And Tom Grieve, a partner and Hall of Fame member, will be among the celebrities extolling Michael Young's feats.
Yeah, you know, Buzz, when I was asked to do that, I felt like I was the one being honored.
I can understand why.
That's a distinct honor to be able to do that.
That was neat at the luncheon today to hear all the players that played alongside Michael Young, and had effusive with the giving accolades to Michael about his character and what he had done for them. And Adrian Beltre, Elvis Andrus doing a great job. They were interviewed by our own Emily Jones and had some great things to say about Michael. And then Mark DeRosa and David Murphy and Darren Oliver and Kevin Minch talking to John Radigan.
Yeah, I've been to a lot of Ranger luncheons and dinners over the years, and that was the best one that I've ever been to. All the guys were great. I thought Adrian was especially good. You know, his command of the English language and the way he spoke today makes you a little bit embarrassed to have grown up speaking English and not be able to speak as well as he did.
Yeah,
he was just tremendous.
He
today.
was.
And you know, I guess the other way of looking at it, Buzz, they had an easy subject to talk about. It's pretty hard to be asked to talk about Michael Young, having been his teammate like they all were and not have very positive and nice stories to talk about. They all could have stayed up there for another hour or two and never stopped telling their stories.
A strikeout by Dyson for A.J. Griffin. Now back to the top of the order. There's that last strike 3 call. Right at the bottom of the zone.
Yep, that one's not touching the zone. That's in it, and it looked like Dyson knew it.
Yeah, I think to point out what you're talking about, Tom, Darren Oliver was asked to share some of his favorite memories of Michael Young. He said, well, where would I start? And he'd been in the league, what, about 10 or 11 years by the time he became teammates with Michael, but he had nothing but great things to say about him, too. Escobar rocket on one hop into the glove of Beltre. That'll do it. Oh, very quick inning. A.J. Griffin rolling along. 3 up, 3 down. After 2.5, 3-0 Rangers. Bottom of the 3rd inning. Go back to the last out of the bottom of the top of the 2nd inning. Jurickson Profar making that catch on the line drive, and afterwards he wanted to let everybody know how he did it. Chase Tigler said, "Hey, wait a minute now, don't get carried away. It was a nice play, but make sure you do it correctly."
You know, when you watch Profar play, as young as he is, and all the positions he's had to play. Left field for the first time today. First time for the first time in his life this season he played first base. You could tell growing up, the guy was just a ball player. It doesn't matter where he plays. He knows how to play that position. You see so many guys make such a big deal out of playing another position. One guy goes from left field to right field, and you think he was asked to play lacrosse instead of baseball. But, you know, Jurickson just goes wherever they tell him, and he gets the job done out there. He grew up being a ball player. It doesn't matter where you put him.
That's a good point. You're exactly right, Tom.
How many guys have you seen that, you know, and I don't want to mention names, but we've had guys that we've tried in left field, and they look like they'd never played baseball before trying to play out there.
Right.
Here's a kid that's 23 years old, and he's held his own wherever they put him. And that has a lot of value in today's game with a short bench most of the time. One of them's a catcher. One of them has to be a guy that can play shortstop, but you got a guy that literally can play almost anywhere on the field. If you put him behind the plate, he could probably do it for a couple of innings without causing you any embarrassment. Maybe his greatest value would be as a regular at second base or shortstop, but in the meantime, it has a lot of value to be able to play all those different positions.
A strike to Mazzara.
That's why when you read, you know, all the trade discussions, and you don't have the slightest idea of what's true and what's not true, but you see Jurickson's name mentioned, and he would be a very difficult player for the Rangers to trade, not just because he's talented and can be potentially a frontline player shortstop or second base, but because of his versatility now and what he means to the Rangers the last 2 months of the year. Rangers are trying to win and trying to win now, and he has a potential to play a big part in that the next couple of months. So he's not an easy guy to put in a trade to acquire a pitcher or whatever the Rangers might be looking for.
And Nomar Mazara caught looking at a fastball, and he knew it. Vincent Volke is right at the bottom of the zone.
Center fielder, Ian Desmond.
Well, 2 gone before Ian Desmond makes his way to home plate. We're going to send it over to Dana Larson for his Chevy game break. All right, Dana, thank you. Ian Desmond, who had an RBI on a fielder's choice grounder in the first. His 63rd run driven in. Came around to score on the base hit by Adrian Beltre.
Tigers are playing some good baseball. They're right now 6 games over, could go to 7 games over. The Indians lose, they'd only be 3.5 games out of first place in the Central Division.
Yeah, I'd say they're moving up the line and sneaking up on the Indians.
Yeah, they are.
The Indians have been playing as good a baseball as anybody for a while. Now they've kind of backed off just a little bit. 2-0 pitch. 3 balls and no strike. Volke is kind of stumbling off the first base side of the mound. Volke faced 6 hitters in the first inning, gave up 3 runs in that frame, 3 hits, one of them a long home run by Rougned Odor. The 3-0 count with Desmond up there. Take it all the way, and it's a strike. 3-1. Desmond trying to get aboard here with 2 outs. Adrian Beltre, the Ranger cleanup man, is next. Rangers 3 runs on 3 hits. Royals no runs on 1 hit tonight. Foul ball will make it a full count. Ian hasn't been able to get it untracked here in the second half. Since the All-Star break, he's hit just .208. His average right now at .306, but that's still good for 7th in the American League. Got him swinging, good changeup. And back-to-back strikeouts ends the Ranger 3rd inning. Nobody on, nobody left. We'll go to the 4th. 3-0 Texas, Fox Sports Southwest.
Tom, when Ian Desmond walks up to the plate, this is the song you hear.
Center fielder, Ian Desmond.
Well, 2 gone before Ian Desmond makes his way to home plate. We're going to send it over.
Yes, Kings of Summer, and here they are, the artist, the producer. This is A-OK, and Quinn92 is the one that actually sings it. Now, how did you guys know that Ian Desmond uses your song as a walk-up song?
Alex originally found the song on ESPN on opening day. Ian was using it for a Rangers game, and his sister called him up and was like, I think I hear your song on TV. And so he raced to the TV. Sister called us up, let us know what happened, and then we messaged Ian online, and just kind of there grew a relationship online. And we're down here yesterday for the game, and we're going to perform it tonight after the 9th before the fireworks, and we're so excited. So
that's awesome. Now, A-OK, you guys got to meet Ian yesterday. What was it like?
He's like the nicest guy ever. Can't even tell you enough. He took us to batting practice. He showed us around the locker room. It was amazing.
He had a great catch there by Adrian Beltre. It's just a routine catch for him, though. So he took you around. You guys got to know him and stuff. And I think he's having such a great year because of the song. What do you think?
I don't know if it's that, but it certainly helps us because it helps just promote the song more. And it's just great to know that such a great player is interested in our work, just like we are with his. So it goes both ways.
Of course. And Ian, great, not only a great player, but a great song. You guys had your first radio interview this morning. Things are taking off. So let's hear it one more time. Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Okay. Jumping off the porch like mom's not home. Tell me why the best things feel so wrong. Summer nights, love 'em out, it takes so long. Run with the feeling of being alive while we're still young.
Nice. Kings of Summer. Get that. What a song. Way to go, guys. Hey, great job. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. All right, my version a little bit different, Buzz. Mama's got the porch light on all night long. No, I'm just kidding. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Great job.
That's pretty good, Noxie.
That was great. I love how guys from different professions each admire the work of the other person.
Yeah.
That's a nice story.
Now 2 up, 2 away, thanks to Adrian Beltre. A nice catch, as you saw, in foul territory. The jam shot off the bat of Lorenzo Cain. Look out.
Oh, I hope you're watching.
Hosmer shooting that foul. Eric Hosmer grounded into a double play in the first inning. Here's Adrian's catch on the pop-up by Cuthbert. One third baseman taking care of the other third baseman's pop-up.
And Dave Island, number 58, one of the Royals coaches, might have got that one right in the back if Adrian didn't catch it.
2-1. You ever see a coach or a player, the opposing player, come into the dugout and reach in and they hit his arm?
No.
Smack his arm away?
No. I guess you have the right to do that, though, don't you?
Yeah. You get anything reaching over off the field of play. You have the right to do it.
I would think that maybe 50 to 75 years ago you saw that more than you do now for whatever reason. But no, I can't say that. I've seen guys not do anything to help the guy coming in the dugout for sure to catch the ball. Most of the time the opposing team will try to cushion the blow if the guy's about to fall and maybe hurt himself in the dugout.
Right.
I don't think Dave Island was worried about that with Adrian there because he was just standing there reaching to catch it.
A little loop around in a shallow left field. Profar in a hurry. Matt Jurickson, a nice running catch. Matt Jurickson's been tested a couple of times. He's acquitted himself very nicely. 3 up, 3 down, and that would be 10 straight. Set down by AJ and the Rangers. After 3.5, Rangers by 3.
Your Texas Rangers in control in the bottom of the fourth here, 3-0. Well, the Texas Rangers are always doing big things in the community, and one of the team partners stepped up big time. Toyota yesterday announced a $1 million gift to the Texas Rangers MLB Youth Academy. Josh Hamilton and Adrian Beltre made financial gifts. The field will be named Josh Hambone Hamilton Field, and the indoor field will bear the number 29 for Adrian. For more information, TexasRangers.com/academy, guys.
Thank you. Great gesture by Toyota, and really appreciate that, along with everything that the Rangers Baseball Foundation does. Well, Adrian Beltre leading off here in the fourth inning. 1 ball and 1 strike. Beltre with the RBI single, driving in his 65th run of the year last time up. Adrian now at 282 with the average. Pops this one foul and out of play to the right. Adrian, before that base hit with Desmond at second in the first inning, was 6th in the American League with a .356 average runners in scoring position. So that's gone up a couple of ticks. Right center field. That's going to be down for a base hit. Adrian's 2 for 2. Dyson kind of boxed it up out there, but Beltre getting back to first and just ahead of the throw by Escobar.
2 strong throws. One from Dyson and one from Escobar. Pretty good pitch, too. That's a fairly sharp slider down and away, almost out of the strike zone. And Adrian stroked it pretty solidly in the right center field. Everything's moving. Legs, arms are winding. And he almost got it back to first base before he got there.
Here's Odor, the first pitch down and into it. Odor signaling to Adrian, hey, going to second base, as Perez is standing there with the ball.
Yeah, he liked that. He liked that.
What's rooting it? No, go ahead, go. No.
A little bit too late by that time.
Yeah. Volquez, the 1-0 pitch. Now it's 2 balls and no strikes. Rugnet launched his 20th home run of the year. It was a majestic moonshot in that first inning. Odor now right up among the league, or I should say major league leaders in home runs by second baseman. To left field, that is deep down the line, slicing toward the corner, and it's a fair ball. Beltre to third, will stop there. Odor into second. A chalk double down that left field line, and he is at second base.
He's got the high home run into the upper deck in right field the first time up. Now a fly ball, well placed, right down the left field line that came within about 18 inches of the chalk line.
And with nobody out, Adrian making sure that he was going to get to third, but had no chance to get home. Odor with that double, he's now 2 for 2. And with nobody out, the Royals forced to pull the infield all the way in with Mitch Moreland at the plate. Inside, did it hit him? Yeah, it did.
Just nicked him.
Breaking ball down and in, and it got Mitch on that front foot, and he is at 4. That loads him up for Elvis. Dead Goose seeing things deteriorate rapidly here in the fourth inning.
Loads him up for Elvis with nobody out. Elvis has been successful this year with men in scoring position. A chance to kind of break it open here in the fourth inning. Chance for a big inning.
Elvis 5 for his last 8 with runners in scoring position. And 10 for 19 since the middle of June. You take strike one.
Elvis has had some tough pitches. Got the count to 0-2 the first time up on a pitch that just touched the inside corner, then one that just touched the outside corner. And that was kind of the same thing right there.
Saw those numbers overall. Elvis third in the American League in these situations. 0-1 pitch. Foul straight down, and it's 0-2. Get that first pitch called a strike, and you almost can't afford to take another pitch. You got to swing at that fastball moving in on it.
You're right, Buzz. It definitely becomes a different at bat. 1-0 or 0-1. Last time up for Elvis, it was 2 borderline pitches to go to 0-2, and then against Volquez, it was really tough.
Volquez continuing to work from the stretch. Bases full, nobody out. And Elvis just able to get a piece of that ball.
Boy, that ball had some severe movement on it.
Well, Ranger fans will remember when Edinson Volquez first came to the big leagues with the Rangers in 2005. The movement was what everybody talked about. Yeah, the velocity was great at mid-90s, but you could make that fastball sing to you. He originally was part of that DVD trio up there in Frisco.
DVDs.
Another 0-2 pitch. Hit hard. Diving stop by Cuthbert. They get the force at the plate. Beltre retired. What a play by Scheffler Cuthbert. And he's got Elvis talking to himself, and rightly so.
Yeah, that plays the difference between the game staying a three-run game and being a 5-run game and nobody out, men on second and third. Nice play by Cuthbert. He knows he can't get a double play, so he goes for the force out at home plate. That's a huge play. Taken away a base hit and a couple of RBIs for Elvis.
A nice play by the Royals third baseman. 1 out. Base is still full. And Joey Gallo, who drew a walk his first time, will face Volquez, and Salvador Perez going to go out and have a chat.
Boy, that's a bad feeling for a hitter. You're going, there's a base hit and 2 RBIs.
Yep.
Instead, I'm 0 for 1 and nothing. It'll make you shake your head, boy. Yeah, it's one thing to miss a hit out of ball you didn't hit that well, but he hit that right on the barrel of the bat, too. Down in the count.
First pitch from Volquez to Gallo. No balls and a strike. Gallo, at the time that he was called up this past week, was 4th in the Pacific Coast League with 19 home runs. He has had all 4 years as a professional with more than 20 home runs each year. Down in the count here, 0-2. Rangers with the bases full. We got Odor at third, Moreland out at second, Andrus at first. Royals infield playing back. They will try for the double play. Got him swinging. Well, 3 pitches. Gallo strikes out. 2 gone. And it'll be up to Robinson Chirinos if the Rangers are to do any damage here in the 4th. 4th strikeout for Edinson Volquez. Chirinos grounded into a double play that ended the Rangers' second tonight. Robinson hitting at 2-0-2. 1 ball, no strikes. $17 runs driven in for Chirinos. This is 29th start behind the plate for the Rangers. High and tight. 2-0. Well, now Robinson in a pretty good position against Volquez. Bases loaded. Volquez needing to throw a strike. Yeah, Chirinos can sit on a pitch that is to his liking.
Well, whatever pitch he throws here, Buzz, I don't think it'd be a case of him trying to trick Robinson. He's got to throw the pitch he thinks he's got the best chance to throw a strike
Yeah,
with.
exactly.
It may be a curveball, but it's not because he wants to trick him. It's because he wants to throw a strike.
And he got it in right at the bottom of the strike zone. 2-1.
Well, he threw a strike. He threw a quality strike.
Yep.
The ball had 6 inches of tailing action to it as well. It looked like it tailed from one side of the plate to the other.
Chirinos making that note to Ron Culpa to make sure it was a good strike. 2-1. Got him on the fist. They'll roll it to Cuthbert. Across the diamond, and Volquez dances around some pretty difficult situation. Nothing going for the Rangers. A couple of hits, they leave them loaded. After 4, 3-0 Texas. Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. And by the all-new 3-row Mazda CX-9, meticulously crafted for driving because driving matters. Well, the Rangers had a golden opportunity to go by the boards. Bases loaded, nobody out in the 4th, but credit Edinson Volquez with making some pretty tough pitches. He got the outs, and Rangers kept off the scoreboard. So A.J. Griffin out to start the 5th, and he deals strike 1 to Kendrys Morales. It'll be Morales, Perez, and Gordon. Morales out on a great play by Rougned Odor, and I'm not going to say it was shallow right center field because it wasn't. It was medium right center field. This time he finds the open spaces out in center for a leadoff single. And let's check in again with Rick Renner.
Hey, Buzz, my pleasure to introduce to you the great Dat Nguyen, Texas A&M Aggie All-American, won the Lombardi, played for the Dallas Cowboys. He's done it all back in the Metroplex, living here, having fun in Fort Worth. And you're here on Vietnamese Heritage Night. And I know you're very proud to be the first NFL player ever drafted that was Vietnamese and American.
Yes, it's always an honor to me to represent the Vietnamese culture as my roots are. My family left the mainland of Vietnam over 40 years ago. For us to have an opportunity in America to have a chance to fulfill some dreams, and for me the opportunity to play the game of football, the American sport, and I couldn't ask for anything better. And to have a chance, it was an honor to represent the Vietnamese American people here in the Dallas Metroplex.
Hey, you threw out the first pitches. We have one out here, and let's take a look at that pitch. You look like you could still play football. What happened on the first pitch?
Well, I thought it was good. I was hoping that it was just throw it straight and it doesn't skip. And that's all I was hoping for, is make sure it did not skip. But overall, it was good. You know, it's all. I always commend the pitcher, how they control the ball, how they throw the ball so fast. I'm just sitting here, so it's just, it amazes me because it's such an art. And for them to throw it over 100 miles per hour, control the ball like they do, it's just phenomenal.
So what are you doing these days? I understand you have 2 young twins at home. I don't know why you wanted to do that again. 5 kids now, but what are you doing? I see the Chick-fil-A hat.
Yeah, I was fortunate to be rewarded a store in downtown Fort Worth off of 7th Street, West 7th. And now that's what I'm doing. I wanted to coach, but I couldn't move my family around the country. So I took a job that allowed me to run a restaurant. My family been in the restaurant business all their lives. So for me, growing up in the restaurant business, now I got a chance to be a part of a great organization. You're talking about me being part of the Dallas Cowboys. I couldn't ask for a better franchise in the football arena. And now you're with one of the best organization in restaurant business.
How good are the Cowboys going to be? It seems like the whole defense is either suspended, hurt, or injured for the year.
I think there's going to be some adversity. And if anything, you're thankful it's happened early. And you know you're going to have those guys, and the young guys got to step up, and other players have to step up. And I think that's going to build the confidence of those young players that have to step up. And the experience, as we all know, it's valuable. So guys are going to be suspended. Unfortunately, it happens that way. But the Cowboys right now, with Jason Garrett, I think what he has done. Tony Romo, you're talking about Dez Bryant going to be healthy. You're going to talk about Ezekiel Elliott. Everybody's going to see what him and McFadden going to be the guy that's going to help him mature as a player. But defensively, Sean Lee had a great year last year. Hopefully he can be healthy and play well this year. So overall, I like the Cowboys because they're kind of under the radar. You know, every year you go out training camp, everybody's, oh, Cowboys going to do this, do that. Guess what? We don't do it because things happen, injuries, suspension. But since now no one's given them any opportunity or even any doubt that they can be any good, I think it's going to be a positive for the Cowboys.
Great to see you. Always talking to you is a win-win situation, if you know what I mean. You look great. Get some sleep. You got those twins at home. Let's kick it back upstairs to the guys.
All right, Rick, thank you. Well, in the meantime, AJ Griffin in a little bit of hot water here. And Robinson Chirinos out to talk to him. AJ gave up the infield single, got an out on Salvador Perez, a little jam shot. Then walked Alex Gordon on 4 straight pitches, now dealing to Raul Mondesi. He's down at the bottom of the order. And as you mentioned last night, Tom, this is a tough club in Kansas City to walk many people.
Yeah.
They don't like to walk. They will swing the bats on you at the drop of a hat. Alex Gordon took the 4-pitch walk. So leading 3-0. AJ trying to zero back in on the strike zone. And he does to make it 1-1. Mondesi hit a little humpback liner out to his counterpart, Rougned Odor, first time up. Chops that one foul, and the count goes to 1-2. Raul Mondesi, you remember, made his major league debut in the World Series last year. That was a first. There's never been a player to make his major league debut in the World Series before, and Mondesi just called up this past week to resume his major league career. To left field. Profar has this one measured. 2 gone. So nice job by AJ Griffin to bounce back after falling behind and getting a visit from Robinson Chirinos. 2 gone. And Gerard Dyson coming up. Folks, the first 15,000 fans in the ballpark on Sunday for the final game of this Royals-Rangers series will get treated to a green dot bobblehead. That's courtesy of Nitto Tires. It's the second in a series of 3 dot bobbleheads this season. Get your tickets at TexasRangers.com. Be sure to come on out and collect all 3 dot bobbleheads. So 2 on now, 2 out. Gerard Dyson called out on strikes in the 3rd inning. And AJ drops that slow curveball in for strike 1. AJ kind of has that wall that he needs to get through here in the 5th inning. It has jumped up and gotten him the last 4 times out. He has worked 5 innings in each of those tonight. Pretty consistent pitch counts for him. Just 74 total with 2 outs here in the 5th. High in the air down the right field line. That is going to hook and go foul up into the seats. Well, Dyson, not a lot of power, but you hang one up there to him, and if he can get it down the line, he's got enough pop to get it out of the ballpark. Chirinos out to deliver the baseball to A.J. Griffin and probably remind him of that.
Well, we saw Paulo Orlando hit a home run last night. It only his second one of the year, but it went over 400 feet. It was a high cutter that wasn't a terrible pitch. Fortunately, it was far enough inside where he couldn't keep it fair.
Pulled down to Mitch at first base. He will rush to the bag, and he'll end up winning that race. A nice job by A.J. to work around first and second with one out. 2 left aboard. We've played half the ball game. The Rangers 3, the Royals nothing. On Sunday, August 14th, we treated to an Adrian Beltre removable helmet bobblehead, if you can believe that. That's courtesy of Nitto Tire. Be one of the first 15,000 fans to the Tigers-Rangers game that afternoon and collect the one-of-a-kind bobblehead. Find your tickets at TexasRangers.com. Remember, remove Beltre's helmet at your own risk. We all know Adrian doesn't like you to pat on his head. Rangers to bat here in the 5th inning, the top of the order. Jurickson Profar, and he takes inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Profar walked and scored in the first, grounded to first in the 3rd inning. Rangers 3 runs on 5 hits. They had an opportunity after they loaded the bases with nobody out in the 4th, but could not push a run across. And hopefully that doesn't come back to bite them later on in the ballgame. Profar, a .293 average. For Jurickson, he was called up this year as Rougned Odor served his 8-game suspension. Profar jumped into that leadoff spot and did a great job. Reached base the first 13 games consecutively that he was batting that leadoff. Counts even to him here at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Saw Jurickson last night as a pinch hitter. He went 0 for 1. Able to foul off that curveball. Profar, a .333 hitter in his last 5 ball games. Volquez back to him. Ripped down the right field line. That is headed toward the corner. Kane will have to play the carom. Into second, standing with a double. Jurickson Profar.
Oh, nice swing at a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Hit it right on the barrel of the bat. Didn't quite get that one in on Jurickson. It turned on it and smoked it down the right field line. Got it in decently. Lower inner part of the strike zone. That's kind of right in his wheelhouse, though. What a good swing at it.
With that kind of sound, if he'd gotten any elevation, that would have been up in the home run porch.
Yep.
No, half a dozen hits now for the Rangers. Profar at second, nobody out. Here's Nomar Mazara. Nomar 1 out of 2. Changeup floats to the outer edge for strike 1. Mazara at least trying to get Odor to third by pulling the ball. Trying to get Profar to third. Volquez with the 0-1. That's ripped to right field. Kane going over. He can't get it. One hop and off the wall. Profar will score into second, an RBI double for Mazara. The Rangers lead it 4-0.
Well, the youngsters at the top of the lineup getting the job done here in the 5th. 23-year-old Jurickson Profar ripped a double. And 21-year-old Nomar Mazara followed it up with an equally hard-hit double to the gap in right center field. Rangers missed a big chance in the 4th, but they cash in early here in the 5th inning. It's a curveball that stayed in the middle of the plate. And Nomar, for the second time today, has hit a line drive right on the button.
You know, Tom, you talk about hitters, how important it is for them to go up, and if they get a mistake, not to miss it in that at bat, and that's what Mazara did.
Yeah, there's, you know, most at bats you get a pitch to hit. There's some at bats where you might walk or you might have several really good pitches made on you, but for the most part, in every at bat you get a hittable pitch. And you're right, Buzz. The more often you can take advantage of and hit it, the better hitter you are. That's what good hitters do.
And speaking of good hitters, how about Ian Desmond? Checks his swing, and he's ahead of the count now, 2 balls and no strikes. He's double checking down there at first base with Chris Conroy. Seemed to be a little annoyed that he was bothered by having to make that decision. Desmond 0 for 2 tonight. And an RBI on a fielder's choice in the 1st. 2-1. Well, and you know, Ian right now looking for something to drive to the right side himself. Outfield shading him around that way. The infield maybe a step around to the left, but pretty much straight away. Volquez not really giving him a pitch that he can hit the other way. 2-2. Ian Desmond's hot zones, and very much a high ball hitter who goes line to line, and that's what that top line will tell you. Inside, outside, doesn't matter. If it's up, he's going to have a hack at it. Anything in the middle of the plate, you can forget about getting that baseball back undamaged. Volquez a check of second. Even there, Ian still trying to inside out that off-speed pitch. Ian, and you've heard him say it, I'm sure, several times, that he appreciates the finer points of the game. That's playing the game the right way, moving runners aboard. He said he always admired the veteran hitters who would give themselves up, basically, to get the job done for the team. He said, I want to be remembered as that kind of player. And his Ranger teammates appreciate that. Still 2-2. Said on deciding to come over to the Rangers this year and sign that contract right at the beginning of spring training. He said the one factor that I chose over all else was the Rangers know how to win. It's a club that is very much together. They play to win every ball game. Slowly chopped to third. Cuthbert, tough hop, but he throws wide. Desmond is aboard. Not so sure that even a perfect throw would have gotten him. Desmond getting down that line in a hurry.
Buzz, you talk about Ian coming over here because the Rangers were a team that knew how to win. I think that's true. But they know how to win even better now that he's here. So he's at it today. Cuthbert's playing back, obviously, with a couple of strikes. They had a shot at him with a good throw, but wasn't able to throw it accurately enough for Hosmer to keep his foot on the ball.
So the error on Cuthbert. Offline throw. First and second, still nobody out. Rangers trying to add Adrian Beltre, a guy you like to have at the plate in these situations. Nothing in one. Beltre tonight 2 for 2, a pair of singles. He has driven in his 65th run of the year. He was back in the first inning. He's up there with Mazzara at second, Desmond at first. Rangers trying to add to their 4-0 lead. He just got under this thing way up in the air, and it's kind of dusk out there. We'll see if Dyson has a pretty good handle on it. He does. This is the time of night where you can lose a ball against the pale sky. But Dyson able to corral that one for out number 1. And before Rubnet steps in once again, let's send it over to Dana Larson for a Chevy game break. All right, Dana, thank you. Now here's Odor, Rubnet 2 for 2. A home run, a double. Trying to get Mazzara in from second and possibly Desmond in from first. 1 ball and no strikes. Odor has made it very uncomfortable for Edinson Volquez. Volquez has not gotten him out in their matchups at the big league level. Odor is 4 for 4 against the Royals right-hander. Up the middle, Mondesi, Escobar back to first, not in time. He pulls Hosmer just up off the bag. And Odor in underneath the tag by Hosmer. Oh, that's out number 2, and it's going to put runners at the corners for Mitch Moreland.
No, Rudy got down the line quickly. That looked like a fairly good opportunity for a double play. Ball was hit right toward second base, so it was just a short flip for Mondesi. Might have taken a little bit extra time to get the flip to Escobar. Escobar's throw back a little bit high and took Hosmer off the bag.
Oh, now a little conference on the mound, and Cuthbert and Perez out there talking with Volquez. Odor, for the first time in his career, has gone over 10 steals. We'll see if he might be given the green light. Mitch tonight has been hit by a pitch and struck out. 0 for 1 officially. Mitch, of course, had his 10th career 2-home run game last night. Both of them going the opposite way. We're talking about Mitch Moreland. He's our TXU Energy Power Player to watch. Why would that be? Well, about 7 of his last 11 hits have gone for extra bases. 2 doubles, 5 home runs, and Mitch has been known to get on a pretty good roll driving the ball out of the ballpark. That breaking ball moves off the plate inside. It's 1-0. That'd be a nice spot for it to land. That's our RF camera out on atop the lower seating bowl down there, home run porch. That's on one of the walkways. I take it back, right down the right field line. That camera is about 430 feet from home plate. They may be in jeopardy if Mitch gets a hold of it. 2-0. home runs, 42 RBI for Mitch. Brings a modest 3-game hitting streak into play tonight. Volquez checks the runners. Hit hard by the ship into right field, a base hit. 1 run is in. Odor going to third. A head first slide. He is in there safely. It is 5-0 Texas.
Well, Mitch follows up a 2-home run game last night with a solid base hit. Love to see those hits come with a couple of outs. Bring in that insurance run and keep the inning alive.
Moreland drives in his 43rd of the year.
Like a high changeup on the outside part of the plate, and Mitch puts another good swing on it. Hits it hard.
Dave Island, the Pros pitching coach, out to slow things down. Talk things over with his battery of Edinson Volquez and Salvador Perez. Rougned Odor going first to third. Well, the crowd being encouraged by Chuck Morgan to make some noise, and they are responding. Had a crowd of just over 36,000 last night, maybe a little larger tonight. Here's Elvis. He takes ball 1. Elvis 0 for 2. A couple of ground outs. Rangers 5 runs on 8 hits tonight. Up the middle. Mondesi. Off balance throw, and he got Elvis by a step. Nice play by Raul Mondesi. Taking a ball right behind the bag near the outfield grass to make the play. 2 runs for the Rangers. They lead 2 after 5. 5-0 Texas. Rangers National Jersey Night. Fans who wear a Rangers jersey to the game that night will get to participate in a pregame parade and will receive a voucher for a buy one get one ticket to select games in August. Plus, Texas Rangers retail locations are offering 15% off all Rangers jerseys from now until August 15th. Get your tickets for August 15th at texasrangers.com. A.J. Griffin back out for inning number 6, and A.J. now with a 5-run advantage. He is dealing to the top of the Kansas City order, Alcides Escobar. very quickly. AJ on top of the count, no balls and 2 strikes. AJ, Kubota power stats will show you the kind of night he has had here this evening. This season against Kansas City, not just tonight, but 10 innings of work, only 1 run on 6 hits. That is close to extreme domination. Royals 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position, so AJ has been able to get tough in those instances when somebody gets out there. Lazy fly ball to Mazzara. They'll push him back a couple of steps. That is out number 1. So this is the longest now that AJ Griffin has gone since he came back off the disabled list. 5 1/3 now in the books for him. Previous long had been 5 innings, 4 different times. Alex Claudio getting ready in that Ranger bullpen. Chesler Cuthbert takes a fastball on the outside corner. Cuthbert is lined to right and fouled out to Adrian Beltre. Royals with just 2 hits. They had 1 in the first. They had 1 last inning in the 5th. That has been it. 1 walk, 2 walks. There's that slow hammer that drops in for strike 2. Cuthbert reacted like he hadn't seen too many of those before.
Same thing the last guy did.
Soft fly ball to Mazzara in right.
Escobar did the same thing, just kind of reached out, fooled by a pitch, and lifted a soft routine fly ball to right.
2 up, 2 away. That'll bring up Lorenzo Cain. I guess folks wondered about AJ Griffin, how effective he might be in this ballpark at being a fly ball pitcher. And you get fly balls like that, you can pitch any place.
That's for sure. Something in a Little League park.
Yeah. Well, and folks worried about the same thing with Colby Lewis, and I think he's done okay.
Yeah, but in both Colby and AJ, they'll get fly balls, but a lot of them are fly balls where the hitter's been fooled.
Right.
And they had to reach, and they just haven't had much behind the ball when they make contact. It's not like they're waiting back and teeing off against them. That's kind of their game. Mix up their pitches, throw a pitch, guess along with the hitter, throw a pitch that he's not looking for in a good spot, and it's tough to take a good swing at it.
0-2. That slow curveball that's popped foul, softly landing in the second row down the right side. AJ tonight, 1 strikeout, 8 groundouts, 8 fly balls. But you're right, Tom. Most of the fly balls have been of the softer variety.
Yeah.
Let loose that fastball that time and overthrew it a little bit. 1-2. Hit him. Fastball trying to get it in. He did. And really the one that took the brunt of it was Robinson Chirinos. A deflection. And it got Robinson. Oh, Cain on after being hit by a pitch. He's there with 2 outs. And Eric Hosmer coming up. Chirinos, if he's not taking a foul tip off the mask, he's taking a deflection off the mask. Trying to make sure his forehead didn't get dented along with a hockey style mask. Now Hosmer stepping in 0 for 2 tonight. He has grounded into a double play and fly to left. .87 pitches so far for AJ Griffin tonight. Cain a short lead at first. The first pitch strike to Eric Hosmer. Hosmer now in an 0 for 14. Go back to the All-Star break. Hosmer has hit right at 160.
Well, Hosmer had a home run in the All-Star game, but in his last 40 at bats, he hasn't had an extra base hit. Pretty good changeup right there. Took a changeup swing at a changeup. Five for his last 40 is Hosmer.
He waited nicely on that curveball, but couldn't make solid contact. Still 0-2. What do you have, a home run and a double in the All-Star game?
Yeah. And then Perez had a home run as
right.
well. A's kind of carried the American League to that All-Star win.
Just off the outer corner. 1-2. And again, Hosmer able to spoil a pitch that was in a pretty good spot for a pitcher. A.J. Griffin, the 28-year-old out of San Diego. Has the sign he wants. And all Hosmer could do with that fastball was shoot it the other way.
Yeah, he's been out in front of slow curveballs. And when your timing is disrupted by a guy like A.J., it's tough to time the ball. You're way out in front of the curveball. You're late on the fastball. You're getting a little frustrated. And all you can hope for is that maybe you get a hanger.
That's not a good spot to be in if you're behind the fastball and ahead of the curveball.
Yeah, exactly. But against A.J. on a night like this where he's only given up a couple of hits, that's kind of been the story for the Royals hitters.
Well, A.J.'s got the kind of stuff we talked about, a 20-mile-an-hour separation that can do that to you. 2-2 pitch. It's hit hard but pulled foul.
A.J. with his 96th pitch coming up. Probably be his last inning. 9th pitch to Hosmer. He's had a long at bat with Hosmer, and he had one with Morales the first time up as well. A couple of long at bats. Cost him about 20 of his 96 pitches, 95 pitches.
That graphic will show you a 26-mile-an-hour separation. Hit well to center field. Desmond going back. He's at the wall, and that ball's gone. Hosmer finally got one he waited on well and got it up in the air and drove it out.
Well, you've said this a couple of times, Buzz. The longer the at bat goes, the better chance the hitter has of finally getting a ball to hit. And that's kind of what happened with Hosmer in that at bat. A.J. threw him a lot of curveballs, and he was way out in front of most of them, but finally one hung, and he got the bat on it.
Well, that is going to do it for A.J. Griffin. Here's the finale. Stayed up, even though it was right on the corner, maybe off the corner a bit. You get a guy like Hosmer, as strong as he is, able to extend that bat with those big arms, and he drove it into the seats over the 404 mark. So A.J. Griffin gets a nice round of applause as he makes his way into the Ranger dugout. Alex Claudio making his way in for the bullpen. We'll take a timeout. We're back to Globe Life Park right after this. $50 hot dog night is coming up on Wednesday. That's August the 10th when the Colorado Rockies play the Texas Rangers right here at Globe Life Park. Head on out, get here early, and enjoy all the hot dogs you can eat for just $1 each. Get your tickets at TexasRangers.com, or you can call 972-RANGERS. Alex Claudio on now, and he deals strike one to Kendrys Morales. Alex Claudio, who we saw on Tuesday night against Oakland, appearing for the 20th time this year. He's 2-1, a 3.08 ERA. He's worked 26 in the third innings. Tried the back door with the breaking ball, found it to be closed. 1 ball and 1 strike. Kendrys Morales tonight 1 for 2. He singled to center his last time up. The switch hitter turning around to bat from the right side against the southpaw Claudio. Is out of play. So Alex able to get ahead on the count now, 1-2. Right-handers this year have been problematic for Alex. They've hit to a .315 average. Left-handers just a .226 mark. The 1-2 pitch. Morales batting at .248. Hitting with the bases empty, 2 outs here in the 6th inning. Rangers leading now 5-2 as Eric Hosmer hit a 2-run home run. And again fouled off to the right. Morales waiting. And a line drive, base hit to right field. Changeup stayed up just a bit. And Morales able to drive it to right center. So he is aboard. And he keeps this inning going. Turn it over to Salvador Perez.
Catcher Salvador Perez.
Changeup had him a little bit out in front, but because it stayed up so high, it wasn't that hard for him to get the bat on the ball. That ball was down 6 inches off the ground, and he swung at it. Wouldn't have had the same kind of success.
Well, here's Perez. Has grounded out twice. Once an outstanding play by Adrian Beltre at third. Takes ball 1. Perez, as you can see, a .269 average now. 15 home runs, 45 RBI. And Morales at first, who does not run well. One and one. Salvador Perez can't really say too much to home plate umpire Ron Copley. He's got to go back out there and work with him, with his pitcher next half inning. That's ripped to left. It is down for a hit. Profar cuts it off before it gets to the corner. So back-to-back singles off Claudio. 2 on, still 2 out. Alex Gordon coming up.
Left fielder Alex Gordon.
And Doug Brocail is going to make a quick trip out to the mound.
Unfortunately, he didn't get that ball up in the air. He got the barrel on it. You get a good look at Profar going over quickly to get a ball. Not that Morales was any threat to go to third, but the next base runner might be in position to go to third when he has to make that play.
Dario Alvarez, newest member of the Ranger bullpen out there, throwing left-hander. Just acquired along with Lucas Harrell from the Atlanta Braves. Travis Demerit, one of the top prospects in the Ranger organization, going to Atlanta in that exchange. No, conference concluded. Claudio will work to Alex Gordon. There's Lucas Harrell. He will be starting on.
Looks like Ian Kinsler.
A little bit, yeah. He does. He'll be starting on the mound on Sunday and playing second base on Monday. No, Monday's an off day. Called strike on the inside corner to Alex Gordon. Gordon is fly to left and walked.
Now, AJ got the first 2 outs. Both hitters, Escobar, Cuthbert, reached and popped up to right field, and then he hit Lorenzo Cain. Had 2 strikes on him and hit him, and now heap of damage. 2 men on, 2 runs in, tying run at the plate.
Yep.
Didn't look like the kind of inning where we'd be facing this kind of a situation.
One ball and 1 strike as Claudio sets. Now 2-1. He and Desmond out in center field with his arms up in the air and say, wait a minute. Extra baseball out here. Making a friend up in the upper deck. Now I bet the folks right there that caught that ball didn't expect to get a ball tonight during the game.
They might not even have seen him throw that ball. It landed right in his lap.
Two and 1, the count to Gordon. Pulled foul down the right side, and the count evens at 2-2. Alex Claudio getting set to throw his 14th pitch since coming into the ballgame. This is the 3rd hitter he's faced. Brown trying to get behind the Rangers. 2-2. Full count. Now you've given the runners Morales at second and Perez at first the advantage of being off and moving with the next pitch. Neither runs very well, but they had an advantage of getting a head start. If Gordon is able to keep this inning alive, Raul Mondesi, the number 8 hitter, in that on-deck circle. Big moment in this game. 3-2 with 2 outs. Got him swinging. Well, Claudio gives up a couple of hits, then strikes out Alex Gordon to strand those 2 runners. For the Royals, they get 2 runs on 3 hits and leave 2 after 5.5. 5-2 Texas. Sonic Slam Inning, brought to you by Sonic. Tonight's jackpot is worth $800 and dinner for two at Sonic Drive-In. If a Ranger hits a home run during this inning, Gracie Carroll from Fort Worth will win $800. And if a Ranger hits a grand slam this inning, Gracie is going to win $25,000. You can register at any participating Sonic restaurant. Joey Gallo, Robinson Chirinos, and Jurickson Profar, the first three Rangers to do the swinging against Edinson Volquez. Check swing, he did not go around, according to Jerry Meals down at third. Gallo tonight has walked and struck out. Volquez with 4 strikeouts this evening. And deals a strike at the knees. Rangers have 5 runs on 8 hits. They scored 2 runs last inning. Three and 1 now. Gallo trying to get aboard to start this 6th inning. Robinson Chirinos is next. Flynn and Moylan, the right-hander. Gallo had a rip at that, and it's 3 and 2. Outfield very deep, maybe a step or so to the right. Infield in that overshift with Gallo up there. Cuthbert, the third baseman, all by his lonesome over there on the left side of the infield. Now Volquez into the wind, the payoff pitch. Curveball, strike 3 call.
Oh, tough call there. Backdoor curveball that doesn't quite catch the corner is a very, very difficult pitch to even swing at. And this pitch is outside. Looks like it's going to stay outside. And borderline pitch. Ruled a strike. A tough pitch for Joey. Looks like he did a good job of taking it.
Oh, 1 gone. Here's Chirinos. Robinson has grounded out twice, once into a double play. And Volquez, about 30% of the time in a normal game, will throw a changeup. That, if he has good command of that, can increase in any given night. Nothing in 2 to Chirinos. One ball and 2 strikes. Breeze still drifting in from right field, and humidity coming up a little bit at night. Still 90-degree evening here at Globe Life Park. The 1-2. Escobar to Hosmer, 2 gone.
Left fielder, Jurickson Profar.
Well, that will take the Rangers back to the top of the order. Mario Alvarez continuing to throw, so we may get our first look at the left-hander. Profar 1 for 2 tonight. He had a rifle shot double into the right field corner last time up. Came around to score on Nomar Mazara's double. Jurickson also walked to begin the game for the Rangers. Came around to score. Hit well up the gap in left center field. Going back is Gordon, and that ball is gone. Profar into the Royals bullpen. His 5th home run of the year. The Rangers lead it 6-2, and Gracie Carroll is a winner in our Sonic Slam Inning. $800 and dinner for 2 at Sonic Drive-In.
Well, if there's scouts here watching Jurickson tonight, they have to be pretty impressed. They saw him rip a fastball down the right field line at 94 miles an hour that was on the inside part of the plate. And there's a pitch that's 4 inches outside that he drives out of the ballpark in Mitch Moreland territory to left center field. Also had a walk to it. He scored 3 times. Pretty impressive game for Jurickson Profar offensively. Getting an opportunity to play left field for the first time this year. That's pretty impressive right there. Put his average up over 300. The first 6 guys in the lineup have all knocked in 1 run. Team effort today.
Yeah. And the Rangers continue their home run onslaught. They're up to 135 now. They entered play tonight 4th in the league. You remember it wasn't too long ago they were down in the bottom half. Mazzara taps out to Mondesi. That'll do it. But Jurickson Profar wins our Sonic Slam inning. Gracie Carroll, $800 richer. Rangers score a run on to the 7th. 6-2 Texas. And we got started with Rougned Odor. He launched one into the upper home run porch, his 20th of the year. That made it a 3-run first inning. And Nomar Mazzara in the 5th drove home Jurickson Profar with that double into right center field. Then was Profar himself to the bullpen in left center field. His 5th home run of the year. That made it 6-2, and that's where we stand now as the Royals come to bat against the newest member of the Ranger bullpen, Dario Alvarez. Alvarez, a 27-year-old. He's out of the Dominican Republic. Rangers got Alvarez and Lucas Harrell from the Atlanta Braves. Alvarez last worked for the Braves on the 24th. About 5 days ago, he pitched against the Colorado Rockies, worked an inning, gave up a hit, and had a strikeout. So on here, look on him as a good live fastball, and that in there at 94. There's Lucas Harrell.
Well, the Rangers are hoping that Alvarez will be a trade piece acquired this year, a lot like Jake Diekman was last year. Jake Diekman was the reliever that came over in the Cole Hamels trade and played such a key role down the stretch. Rangers are hoping that Dario Alvarez will be the same kind of guy.
Raul Mondesi greets him with a looping single to center field. Fastball down. Look on Alvarez, pretty good fastball and then a very sharp slider. He is really tough on left-handers. Also at that slider, a pretty good strikeout pitch against right-handers. This year with Atlanta, he struck out 28 in 15 innings. There's the aforementioned slider for strike 1 to Gerard Dyson. Dyson tonight has struck out and grounded to first. Off the glove of Chirinos. That will allow Mondesi to scoot into second base. You know, there's a case of Chirinos not having caught Alvarez before, and that ball breaking a little bit more than what Robinson had anticipated. So runner in scoring position now for Dyson. 2-1. And the flip side of the coin for Alvarez, he's had fits of wildness in his professional career. High chopper. Beltry's going to have to hurry. Not in time. Dyson beats it out. On to third goes Mondesi. Nothing you can do there. Dyson with that great speed. And the Royals now have runners at the corners, nobody out in the top of the order coming up.
Yeah, once this ball hit the ground, that was a base hit. Adrian knew it, and Dyson probably knew it as well. See how far Dyson was by the bag. He wasn't even in the picture when Mitch caught the ball.
So back-to-back hits open up the seventh. That's going to do it for Dario Alvarez. So he is finished after 2 hitters. Keone Kela making his way in for the bullpen. We'll take another timeout. We're back to Globe Life Park right after this on Fox Sports Southwest. Out of the Seattle area now has come on to take over here in the seventh. He inherits runners at first and third. Nobody out. He's facing the top of the order, Alcides Escobar. Keone appearing in his 14th game, 1-1. ERA coming down. He has had scoreless outings in 5 of the 6 appearances he's had since coming back off the disabled list. He had some elbow surgery. It kept him out for the better part of 3 months. Throwing the ball well, though. And he will drive back Gerard Dyson with a toss. Keone last worked on Wednesday night here against Oakland. Worked an inning, and a strikeout, gave up a base hit, no damage done. Foul tip. It is 0-1. A good 95-mile-an-hour fastball from Kellett. First time that Kell has had an opportunity this year to come into a ball game with runners on. He had not had any inherited runners. And he gets Escobar to flail at that breaking ball down and away. It's 0-2. Escobar tonight singled in the first, has grounded out and flied out. Got Mondesi over at third. Gerard Dyson is at first. The 0-2 pitch from Kellett. Loop down the right side. That's going to slice back into the seats. And we will try it again.
And one thing we've seen in this game, Buzz, kind of goes along with the fact that they don't walk very much and they don't strike out very much, is you've seen a lot of Royals hitters swing at pitches out of the strike zone and foul them off. In other words, they're tough pitches to put in play, but they don't walk very much, so they swing at a lot of pitches out of the strike zone. But because they don't strike out, they're making contact on these pitches and fouling them off.
Beltre to second. They get one. The return to first in time. Mondesi scores, but 2 huge outs on the double play.
Boy, I'll say you'll trade a run there for a double play anytime. Good pitch by Keone. They got the double play. Escobar runs pretty well, but they were able to turn it before he could get to first base. Not a hard hit ball, but it takes a good hop for Adrian. Nice accurate throw. And of course, we've been talking about Rugi's arm strength. He delivers it over there with something on it to complete the double play.
Second double play turned tonight by the Rangers. 130 for the year, the most in baseball. Chesler Cuthbert. And the appeal down at first, he did go around, so it is strike one. Well, Cuthbert batting with the bases empty and 2 away. He has skied out a couple of times. Ron Culpa taking the brunt of that pitch in the dirt. It came up and got him on the left shoulder.
Boy, those kind of, when he's set up on the inside corner and the catcher set up on the outside corner, I would think that's almost a naked feeling for an umpire. It's one thing to have the catcher right in front of you, but when you're just standing there, your whole body's exposed to foul tips and wild pitches.
1-1.
Bring back the old days where they had the big chest protector that they used to hold. Probably most of our fans probably don't even remember those days.
Big balloon chest protector.
Yeah, they used to wear it on the outside and kind of hold it. You get hit by a ball with one of those, you don't even know it. But now the chest protector's inside the shirt. I guess it's much easier to see the ball and move around than it used to be. But
well, you know, the National League were the first league to go to that inside protector, and they'll always have the reputation of being a low ball league. Well, that was why.
Yeah, exactly.
Umpires got down lower to the ground. They didn't have to look over that big balloon chest protector.
Yeah. If I ever umpired in the big leagues, I'd go back to the balloon protector. I know that.
Cuthbert reaches out, skies to left field. Profar able to make the grab, and that'll do it. Nice job by Keone Kela. He gets the double play ground ball, a run across. It is now 6-3 Texas, and we will join Chuck Morgan as he introduces God Bless America.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. Will you please rise? And now, in honor of all the veterans who have served our country and the servicemen and women who are currently stationed at home and around the world, we invite everyone in Globe Life Park to join in singing God Bless America.
Our greater coverage of baseball brought to you by T-Mobile. Miami Marlins acquired Andrew Kashner and Colin Ray from the Padres. 3 players from the Marlins, including the Marlins' first-round pick, first baseman Josh Naylor, first-round pick last year. National League Showdown, the NL East leading Washington Nationals at the NL West leading San Francisco Giants. Max Scherzer, last 14 ball games, 81 runners allowed, 135 strikeouts. That's pretty good, isn't it?
Sounds like it.
Well, Peter Moylan has come in from the Royals bullpen to take over for Edinson Volquez. Moylan appearing in his 20th ball game. League hitting 289 against the right-hander. He is facing Ian Desmond to start things off. Rangers on top 6-3. They've out-hit the Royals 9-7. Moylan with that slinging delivery. There's the advantage in the count, 0-2. Now our Ford leaderboard now about late in ball game, 7th inning or later for the Rangers. Desmond a 331 average, Beltre a 327 average. 7th highest in the major leagues for Ian, 10th for Adrian. They do some damage late. Not that they don't do any early, they do, but there he is at it again. Ian Desmond going for 2 as he smokes it out of the batter's box, and he is in standing. He took advantage of Gerard Dyson. Out of the box, Ian Desmond was thinking 2 immediately. He never hesitated.
Yeah, Dyson's got good speed and he's got a strong arm. But when he had to go that far to his right, Desmond went to second, knowing it's going to be very difficult for Dyson to make this throw accurately and keep him from getting to second. We'll get a good look at it right here. Dyson's over in right center field, so he's got a long way to go, and he's still pretty deep when he catches it. It's going to be very tough for him to have a chance to get the speedy Desmond. Cut the corner quickly and just kind of cruises into second base.
Well, Ian with his first hit of the night in scoring position. Now nobody out. Here's Beltre. Now time called. Adrian was sticking in there just to make sure. He didn't hear Ron Culpa for sure give him time, so he wasn't going anyplace.
That's a hard call for an umpire, when to say time and when to say you asked too late. And as a pitcher, Buzz, I'm sure you can appreciate that.
Yep.
I think it's always too late for a pitcher, isn't it?
Well, yeah. You know, if you even thought about starting your motion, it seems like it's too late.
Yeah.
Typically, if you have and they call timeout, you're better off going ahead and throwing the ball. And if you're sure he called timeout, throw it to the backstop or something. But don't try and stop just because he called timeout. You can hurt yourself that way. 1-1 to Adrian. That's all the way to the backstop. So Beltre now will have Desmond at third with nobody out. A wild pitch would be an understatement.
That would have hit a left-hand hitter.
Adrian playing traffic cop up there. Move along. Let's go. Now Royals pull their infield all the way in. 2-1 the count. Desmond coming down the line. Beltre and chopper. That's not going to get it done as Escobar picks it off. 1 out, and Rougned Odor coming up.
The second baseman,
And before Rougned steps in, we are going to send it over to Dana Larson for a Chevy game break. All right, Dana, thank you. Well, a pitching change underway. We'll tell you all about the new pitcher, Brian Flynn. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back with all his numbers for you. Rangers on top 6-3. We're back after this. Well, crowd making some noise. Rangers have some action going. A runner on third, one out. Brian Flynn, the 26-year-old left-hander out of Oklahoma. On now, Flynn appearing in his 17th ball game. He is asked to come in here and face Rougned Odor, who is 2 for 3 tonight. And that pitch gets away from Perez. In to score is Ian Desmond. And the first pitch that Brian Flynn throws all the way to the backstop, and the Rangers increase their lead. It's now 7-4.
Now, that'll drive a manager crazy. That was an easy run. Ian ripped a double and just trotted to third, trotted to home on wild pitches. Thank you very much.
Ball just carrying off at an odd angle. Odor, a drive to right field. Payne is back at the wall. Goodbye. 2-home run night for Rougned. 8-3 Rangers.
The 2 home runs. He's also got a double in the game, so he's 3 for 4. He knocked in a couple of runs. First one went to the upper deck. That one just barely got there. Kane went back and jumped, but it was in the front row and he couldn't get high enough. A big night for Rugi. Home runs number 20 and 21.
Well, let's see, the upper deck on one, the first row on the other. You average them out there midway in the back of the bottom row, or bottom level.
For sure.
Now here's Mitch Moreland. He takes a strike.
That was a slider, it looked like, that stayed on the inside part of the plate. Jammed him a little bit, it looked like.
Well, that's Odor's 6th home run against a left-hander this year. That's the most any left-handed hitter. Nice little leg kick, and Odor
He's
pushing
hoping.
it out. Yeah. Maybe if I run down there real fast, it'll generate a little shock wave, push that thing out. Odor reclaims the team leadership with his 21st home run. One more now than Ian Desmond. And Mitch takes the pitch low. Just enough. The Rangers, 3 more home runs tonight. And Moreland going to the same spot he did before. Mondesi with a throw, not in time.
Wow. That was almost an Odor play by Mondesi. There wasn't much room to sneak a ground ball between the 2 quick infielders. Mondesi got to it, made a nice play, a lot like Ruby, but if the ball got to first base in the air, might have had a chance to get Mitch. But once he jumped and the ball bounced, Mitch was able to sneak in there.
Well, Mitch with his 2nd hit of the night. Well, you're right. That was a great get for Mondesi to get over there and grab that ball.
Now, does that count as an infield hit, even though it was 20 feet into the outfield?
That's a good point. I don't know.
I guess it is, because the infielder fielded it.
Yeah. Straight away, right center field is where he fielded it. No, Moreland aboard again. Here's Elvis. 0 for 3 tonight.
Elvis is 0 for 3, but his last 2 times up, he came close both times. With the bases loaded, nobody out, Cuthbert made a diving play to take probably a 2-base hit and a 2 RBI hit away from him. And the last time up, and a man on third and 2 outs. Nice play by the second baseman.
And the Royals have turned it over here in the 6-4-3, and Rangers are gone, but they put 2 more on the board. 2 runs on 3 hits, and nobody left, including Rougned Odor's 2nd home run of the night. 8-3 Texas after 7.
There comes all the friends. Are you ready? I'm here. Ryan. Ryan.
All right, Rangers leading their Royals 8-3 now as Kansas City comes to bat here in the top of the 8th inning. Lorenzo Cain, Eric Hosmer, and Kendrys Morales. And Keone Kela going to work with a good fastball to Cain.
Keone only came in and threw 8 pitches to get a double play in and out. So his first inning was so quick, he's going out for a second inning.
There's that hammer that he'll drop on you every once in a while, and Cain couldn't make contact. Nothing at 2. Well, one thing that really stands out to me tonight, Tom, the Ranger offense has been able to add on, and that's something that they have not been able to do, it seems like, in the last month. A little slow tapper, Moreland to Kela, and a nice athletic play by Keone Kela to dig that out of the dirt. One gone, and now let's go over to Jim Knox.
All right, Buzz, thanks a lot. We finally got the Flores family all together. Here's the Progressive family of the night. They came in from Andrews, but look who's the best dressed girl in the house. It's Avra right here. How old is she?
She is 10 months.
Look at that hairdo. Look at that. Look at the stockings right there. Congratulations, family. Way to support the Rangers. I know you came from a good distance here. Way to support the Rangers. Ava looks great tonight. Anything you'd like to say, guys?
Yeah, let's go Rangers!
There we go. Way to go. Progressive fan of the game. Thanks, Buzz.
All right, Doxy, thank you. Family night at the ballpark. Got some good sized ones out here. Nice to see. Eric Hosmer homered his last time to the plate. 2 balls and no strikes. Jim Knox was trying to get things ready for the start of this half inning, and he was running all over the place out there. He couldn't quite round people up soon enough, so he had to wait just a second. Did a good job, though, getting those folks together. 2-1. Kela, a little added octane on that one. 96 miles an hour. Hosmer, just his second home run in his last 41 ball games last time up. His 14th of the year. Kela's 2-1 pitch. High chopper out to Odor. One thing, Keone, the stuff that Keone has tonight, he's not getting many balls hit sharply. Well, you're talking about getting the ball in deep right field from a second baseman. How about this? Our Fox Vision will show you exactly how far he went. 129.2 feet he had to make that throw. Now, to put that in perspective, if you're not familiar with it, that's 3 inches more, or 3 feet more than the distance from home plate to second base.
Yeah. And Mondesi made a nice throw. He chose to jump and throw, and it took a hop. Nice play. Rugi didn't jump. He threw while he was running, and he got it all the way there in the air.
Morales breaks his bat. And he'll get a new piece of lumber. Ryan Ruitt is into the ball game, by the way, taking over for Jurickson Profar in left field. Profar, a nice night defensively, and 4 or 5 opportunities out there. Played them flawlessly. Offensively, well, all he had was a home run and a double and 3 runs scored. Kela trying to use the bull rush on Kendrys Morales. 1-2. Morales has had singles in each of his last 2 trips to the plate. He was 2 for 3 tonight. Pop foul back into the seats. And the Rangers are talking about adding on. They added on 2 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th, 2 more in the 7th. Kansas City made a run at them. They had 2 in the 6th inning, made it a 5-2 game at that point. The Rangers able to keep pace and then outpace them the next 2 innings. Got him swinging. And there's that nasty hook. Yella, a 1-2-3, and he retires all 5 that he faces. 7.5 in the books at Globe Life Park. The Rangers leading Kansas City 8-3.
Park, Rangers in control, 8-3 here in the final moments of this one. Hey, make sure you join us tomorrow on Fox Sports Southwest. It is going to be a festive Saturday. Game time pushed back to 7:35, and we will have an hour-long pregame show that will include the Michael Young Hall of Fame ceremony. You don't want to miss it. A lot of Hall of Famers in the house, and then Martin Perez looking to bounce back in Game 3 of 4 with the Kansas City Royals. That's brought to you by AT&T High-Speed Internet. Buzz?
All right, Rick, thank you. Yeah, it's going to be quite a night out here. And Joey Gallo, first ball swinging, a towering pop-up. Cuthbert over to stay with it. Boy, that thing twisting and turning, and Cuthbert able to make the grab for out number 1. So Joey is 0 for 3. Well, folks, you can follow Rangers baseball live at MLB.com at BAT. You can stay up to the moment at any moment with Game Day. Live game video highlights, StatCast, news, and a lot more. Download MLB.com at BAT. It's the #1 app for live baseball on your phone or tablet. Talking about tomorrow night, and they're at our latest update is there are 2,500 reserve seats left for tomorrow night. So you want to come out, make sure and get on TexasRangers.com or call 972-RANGERS and arrange for your tickets. They are going quickly. Michael Young's Hall of Fame induction, the Alumni Legacy Weekend. A lot of things going on at the ballpark. The Quad 4 bobblehead night out here tomorrow night. A big Saturday at Globe Life Park. Robinson Chirinos 0 for 3. And Brian Flynn pulls the string and gets a strike. 0-2. Chirinos has grounded out all 3 times this evening. Flynn came on to get the last 2 outs of the 7th. And misses inside here to make it 1 ball and 2 strikes. Flynn, a big, tall left-hander facing Chirinos. That is a little bit outside. The Appeal to first, no swing. 2-2. Got him swinging. Flynn using that 6'7" frame of his to pretty good advantage. Gets the strikeout. 2 gone. And Ryan Rua now. And with Ryan Rua coming up for his first at bat, we'll take you to his predecessor in the lineup, our AT&T high-speed internet replay. How about Jurickson Profar? Already had a double and a walk to his credit. He pounded one into the Royals bullpen in deepest left center field. His 5th home run of the year. And what did that do? It got him taken out of the ballgame. That's what happens.
No, he's not disappointed.
No, sure is not. He had a very solid night and played very well defensively. Handled 5 or 6 plays out there with no problem whatsoever. And Rua, who has hit extremely well against left-handers, getting a shot at Brian Flynn here in the 8th inning. Rua overall a .273 average. Flynn back to him. And the pitch on the outside corner. Rua a .342 average this year against left-handers. Got a .929 OPS on base plus slugging. Twisting fly ball down the right field line. Kane right up against the sidewall, has to come back to make the catch. The ball had some spin on it.
Did come back on him.
And Lorenzo Kane got turned around and had a lunge back to his right. The Rangers are gone 1, 2, 3 in the 8th. We're going to the 9th inning. It's the Rangers 8 and the Royals 3.
Rangers with a nice lead as we head to the top of the 9th, up 8-3 over the Royals in Game 2 here at Globe Life Park in Arlington. Dana Larson here reminding you we've got Rangers Live, the post-game show, coming up right after the game. It's a packed show as we will be wrapping up this game with analysis and reaction from Mark McLemore and Pudge Rodriguez. If we can get them to stop eating for just a few moments because they are killing some wings here. As we head into the late stages of this night. Also, we will hear from Michael Young, who is on the eve, of course, of his Rangers Hall of Fame induction. Looking forward to that. And Ken Rosenthal as well, talking a little trade deadline as we inch ever so close. Guys, thanks once again for helping me out with our post-game promo. Love it. Guys, back to you.
Jake Diekman in to start the top of the 9th inning, and one pitch against Salvador Perez to fly out to right field, and that is a good way to start this night. Diekman, his 44th ball game. He got last night off. We had seen Jake in 3 consecutive ball games. Just a 157 opponent's batting average against Jake. He battled through a little bit of soreness, spent 15 days on the disabled list, back now after that cut on his finger of his throwing hand. Gave his arm time too to kind of calm down. So he is back out here for the 9th inning with the Rangers leading 8-3. Alex Gordon, the hitter. And Diekman pumps in, strike one. Gordon looking over to the Royals bench to Ned Yost to say, don't you really have somebody that can hit for me here? This left-hander against the left-hander throws across himself and looks like he's throwing behind me. I'd rather not have to face him when we're trailing by 5. Gordon this evening has walked. Other than that, flied out and struck out. Off the plate inside, 2-1. Diekman, the 5th pitcher used by Jeff Bannister tonight. A.J. Griffin started, went the first 5 2/3. Alex Claudio worked the 3rd. Dario Alvarez came on, then Keone Kela worked 2. And now Diekman. 3-1. Jake trying to nail down the strike zone, and he's pushing Alex Gordon back out of the way. Gordon hitting 7th in the order. Raul Mondesi is the next hitter. 3-2. The final in Detroit, in case you hadn't heard, the Tigers 14-6 over the Astros. So if the Rangers can close out this 9th inning tonight against the Royals, they will have a 4-game lead in the American League West. Adding a game and a half yesterday and today, that would be the most they'd added since back in the 3rd week in June. Pop foul back into the seats by Gordon. Gold Glove left fielder for Kansas City, hitting just .207. Again, he battled a broken wrist that kept him out of action for a month and a half. Pulls this one on the ground to Odor. 2 gone.
Second baseman,
And Raul Mondesi Jr. coming up. Jake Diekman, the 29-year-old southpaw out of Nebraska, came over to the Rangers just about this time last year. He and Cole Hamels in that huge blockbuster trade. I know Dana Larson was telling you that she and Pudge and Mac will be talking out about the trade deadline, Dana. The trade deadline is coming up on Monday. 3 o'clock Central Time is the final hour of the trade deadline, or of the trade date. What will happen? We'll have to wait and see. A lot of action so far. 0-1. Now 0-2.
Yeah, we don't have the slightest idea what's going to happen, but all the people participating in the talks can probably say the same thing. They know what they'd like to see happen, but they don't have the slightest idea what's going to happen either. It's almost coming down to the wire. Who's going to blink first? Who's going to give up the players, or who's going to ask for a little bit less to get it done?
Well, this big Friday night crowd on their feet. They are cheering for Jake Diekman and the Rangers to close this game out. If Jake can get the job done, it would be the 60th win of the year for your Texas Rangers. A ball and 2 strikes. Got him swinging. And that is a winner. Diekman has a 1-2-3 9th inning. The Rangers win this one 8-3. They have won 2 in a row over the Kansas City Royals, and the lead has increased now to 4 full games. A.J. Griffin got his first win in his last 7 starts. He's coming back off the disabled list. Rougned Odor, his second 2-home run game of the year. And the Rangers pound out a dozen base hits tonight and get the job done. They added on in the 5th, 6th, and 7th innings this evening. And Jake Diekman left up to him to close it out against Raul Mondesi. He got the strikeout to cap a 1-2-3 ninth inning. Jay Griffin says, yeah, that's what we're talking about. Need that right there. AJ and watching Jake Diekman kind of casually saunter in toward home plate after that game-clinching strikeout. And Robinson Chirinos getting the job done very quickly. And Ruben Odor, congratulations from his double play partner, Elvis Andrus. And speaking of Ruben Odor, let's send it down to Rick Leonard, who is standing by.
Yeah, big night, 3 for 4, a couple of home runs. You take over the home run lead on the team now with 21. We got the buckets coming. Talk about the first one. You knew it was out. It was a no-doubter. You didn't even watch it.
Yeah, I mean, he's a pitcher. He throw a lot of off speed, but he got a pretty good fastball. And the last time I faced him, I was looking for the change. I hit a couple hits to him, and the first about I was looking for the change. He threw me that pitch, and I just make a good contact.
The second one, just gets out. You've been so good at hitting home runs off lefties. You're 6th lefty-lefty. You're the best in Major League Baseball at that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel good hitting against lefties. And just go there and try to do my best for help my team to win.
I'm just going to enjoy this. Seems like that was pretty refreshing.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Is it a nice touch with the seeds and the everything else you had going in there?
Yeah, I mean, they throw everything in the water.
You had a play early on in this game with Kendrys Morales where you were out in right center field and you threw him out. Is that the longest throw you've ever made to get somebody out at second base?
I think so. I was playing almost right field, and I know he's no fast runner, and I just catch the ball and throw it, and I make the play.
Pretty amazing stuff. And, looking at the top 6 guys in the lineup, knocking in guys, you guys kept answering their runs. Was there an emphasis of that? This is kind of the baseball that you guys were playing before July.
Yeah, I mean, we just try to do our best. We just try to do our best that we can to win the games and play hard all the time.
Great job. Congratulations on the win. Rugi Odor leading the team in home runs with numbers 20 and 21 tonight. Guys, back upstairs to you.
All right, Rick, thanks very much. Good stuff from Rugi, and good ball game for the Rangers. Back-to-back nights. The Rangers feel very good about the ball games that they have played. We'll be back to Globe Life Park with more right after this on Fox Sports Southwest.